What's up, everybody? We are back once again with a new Doctor episode. This is gonna be a horrible review. I'm so full. I just ate so much food. What are we talking about? Oh, today we're bringing you Legend of Zelda. This way, the Twilight Princess for the Wii. And I do have a box to this somewhere. I don't know what happened to it, to be honest. I think the kids got to it.
I think so.
But the game's still in good condition. Which is all that matters, because that's what I need to play, right? There, Ram, you got your time on camera. This, I believe, was the first Zelda released on the Wii, if I remember correctly. I don't think there's any other ones. If there is, I missed it. Usually on top of my Zelda stuff. But, yeah, as far as gameplay goes, I was a little weird, kind of nervous, I guess you'd say, when they first said they were doing a Zelda on the Wii, because I was, how is it going to play? The controls are going to be funky, I don't know if I'm going to like it. But once I started, I found everything to be really easy to control, a lot easier than I expected. I know Roxy played it for like 5 seconds yesterday, and she was complaining about the control, saying that she didn't like it. But with all honesty, I sat down and played it. Well, when I got it when it came out, and I played it no problem. I thought the control setup was awesome. Basically, the way it works is with the Wii, you have your control and you have your nunchuck. And the nunchuck, you use the joystick to move around. You have your Z button to center the camera. Your C button allows you to go into first person view, so you can move the camera around. Then you have your joystick. There. The kids want their camera time. And then you have your controller, which you have different things you can assign to different buttons. So you can assign your slingshot to one button, and your boomerang to another. Yeah, your bombs to a different one. So
your shield.
And the main joystick also controls your sword. And the nunchuck controls your shield. So if you have your shield out and somebody comes to attack you, you can deflect the attack by moving it just a little bit. They'll pop them back with the shield. With the main joystick, you have your different movements, swings your sword left to right, and then up and down. And then you have combination moves that you'll learn as you progress through the game. You'll get other moves like move them both at the same time, and you'll do a downward stab on somebody who's laying on the ground.
Or if you get caught, you can move them back and forth to escape, which I thought that was pretty neat. I myself thought the controls were actually really easy to use. A lot of it reminded me of the new one that just came out.
The Skyward Sword.
The Skyward Sword.
Yeah. And we'll be doing a review on Skyward Sword tomorrow. But the game itself, I haven't had a Zelda game yet where I say, man, that game was just horrible.
I know.
I heard the CDI ones are, but I haven't played the CDI ones, so I can't really,
compare.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as the game looks, I think it looks awesome. Don't do that, bub. I don't want to. I guess it would be a little more realistic. I didn't want to say that because it's not technically realistic. It still has that Zelda look, but it is more realistic looking than a lot of the other Zeldas. You go back to Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and they're all real cartoony. This one has a more lifelike look to it than any of the other ones, I would think. It's not super realistic, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
It's a little bit darker because you're playing in the light world and the shadow world, which is where Zelda ends up getting kidnapped. So I mean, if you want to talk about the story of the game, you have your usual the girl's being kidnapped. Link has to go chase after her, or whatever you decide to name him. He has to go chase after her like usual, just so he could find her, and then she could tell him, "Oh, I'm gonna go get kidnapped again."
Mm-hmm.
And in the Shadow World, you have the ability to change form. Well, it's not really an ability; you don't have a choice. you turn into different things, wolves and whatnot, and you have to, and you can still fight, and you use those to do things that you couldn't do in the regular world, like get through small places, jump up areas that you couldn't reach before, things like that. So that aspect was really neat because usually, you're just Link and you're traveling around and you do your thing, you have your little thing to play spells, or you got your little the thing in the Wind Waker, the stick,
the thing that looks like a baton.
Yeah, the fucking I can't even think right now, man. The conductors use.
It is a baton.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one of those things. Majora's Mask, you got the mask, you got the hats in that other one. So, and this one, you're traveling back and forth through light and shadow, and you have to get the rest of the world back to light. And the ability to change forms was really neat to me because I never really had something like that. You kind of did in Majora's Mask. You put the mask on and then you change it, but this one, he physically changes completely, like an alternate side to him, so to speak. Then you have the music, always awesome. I always love the soundtracks. And you got your usual Zelda themes, so you have your, as soon as you start the game, you know the song, you're like, yep, that's Zelda. Which I love. That's one thing I always love about them is they keep to what they've always done, and they change it just enough to where it's like, all right,
it's new,
yeah,
but it's familiar.
Exactly. So even though it's on a new platform, it's still got the similarities of the old. Even but then it's also got the new, so it really pulls together real well. Let's see, as far as the actual gameplay itself, like difficulty and stuff, it's got its challenges like the other ones. I know a lot of people remember the Water Temple. Everybody knows the Water Temple. There's always something in there that's going to be hard because it's a game. They got to have challenges. You can't just have an easy walkthrough. Oh, that was easy. I finished it in like an hour. But yeah, as far as that one goes, I would say for it being the first one on the Wii, now I've played Skyward Sword. We have Skyward Sword, so and we'll get into the differences between that one and this one a little bit better tomorrow. But if you've played Skyward Sword, this one will seem to be lacking a little bit, especially in the controls. But overall, it's really, really good. I would definitely check it out. Any Zelda fan will love it. The one thing I know a lot of people complained about, though, was the way it looked. It was the fact that the graphics were a little bit more realistic. But, to me, I loved it. I thought that was so cool because I'd never seen one like that. But, yeah, I mean, other than that, you have your typical, you got to find your sword. You have your mini quest. You got to find your shield, all that stuff. So it follows the path of a Zelda game pretty well. But it brings in all that new stuff to keep it fresh. So, what was your thoughts?
I actually really did like this game. This is the first one that I've actually played on the Wii. I like the way the controls are. It kind of gives you that little bit of a real motion when you're swinging your sword, and you have the two things, and you know you have to block with one hand, and you have the sword in the other.
And you know, there's no real delay either. Like
no,
when you swing,
really
it swings.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things I was worried about the most, is how much delay is going to be between when I move and when he moves. And wherever you move that controller, he moves that sword with it. So if you go like this, he does the exact same thing with the sword, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really neat. I'd never seen anything like that. At least not in a Zelda game before, so that was really cool. The storyline, just like any other Zelda, you know, the concept was really neat with the light and the dark and changing into different animals. So I thought that was pretty cool.
There you go. I think I'm gonna go to sleep. That's what we got for you guys, Rems. Jeez.
Think Rem's tired too?
I think we're gonna have to put him here. He has a nap today. But anyways, like we always say, if there's anything you want us to review, let us know down below. We'll get to it. Tomorrow we'll be bringing you the Skyward Sword, which I know is the one everybody's been bothering us for. And
only because it's still so new.
I know. The reason we did all of them is because we had somebody ask us about the 3DS one, and we had we've had quite a few people ask us about the Skyward Sword, and we felt that if we were going to talk about Skyward Sword, we might as well talk a little bit about Twilight Princess 2, because everybody we asked doesn't have it, and I think it deserves to be talked about.
Definitely.
Because it was another great add-on to the Zelda series, yeah. Very good. So, that's why we decided to throw this one in. Tomorrow we'll have the one you guys have been waiting for. The Skyward Sword. In the meantime, you guys remember to keep playing those games, watching those movies, and getting the kids. Anybody want a babysit? We will see you guys tomorrow with an episode of Play With Your Food and an episode with the Skyward Sword review. And Roxy doing the Pepto-Bismol song.
Yep.
She said she'll do it on the 1st, and we're going to have her do it on the 1st. So, something to look forward to. That one will be in our regular Play With Your Food Sunday episode, so be sure to check that out. In the meantime, we will see you guys later.